Hi, I'm Laura Hoy, and here's a look at what you can expect from the markets today, Friday, September 13th. Twitter announced that it was beginning the process for a public offering on Thursday via tweet. The company took advantage of the Jobs Act, which allows small companies to file privately so that only the SEC can see the proceedings. The Japanese government is considering a $50 billion stimulus package in order to offset the effects of a possible sales tax hike. The government is considering raising the Japanese sales tax by 3% in April 2014. U.S. and Israeli intelligence reported that the Syrian government has moved stocks of its chemical weapons to 50 different sites in order to make them more difficult to track. The news has raised questions about the Syrian government's commitment to turning over its chemical weapons in order to avoid military action. With the U.S. Federal Reserve meeting coming up next week, bets are on for the beginning of the bank's tapering plan. The Wall Street Journal reported that most economists are expecting the bank to cut its stimulus plan by $10 to $15 billion. An explosion outside the U.S. consulate in Afghanistan has resulted in 7 deaths and 17 injured. The attack has been claimed by the Taliban. Asian markets were mostly lower on Friday. The Shanghai Composite was down by 0.86%, and the Hang Seng Index was down by 0.17%. Australia's ASX 200 was down by 0.44%, and the South Korean Kospi was down by 0.49%. European markets also retreated on Friday. The UK's FTSE was down by 0.27%, and the Eurozone Stoxx 600 was down by 0.25%. Italy's MIB was down by 0.45%, and the Spanish IBEX was down by 0.47%. In commodity markets, Brent futures were down by 0.39%, and WTI futures were down by 0.49%. Gold lost 1.04%, and silver was down by 1.19%. In currency markets, the euro and the pound were flat against the dollar, and the yen remained below the 100 yen to $1 mark. The rupee gained 0.34% against the greenback. In pre-market trades, Safeway gained 1.13% after reports the company will trade ex-dividend on Tuesday, September 17th. Verizon was up 0.32% in pre-market trade after the company held the largest ever debt sale on Wednesday. After rallying earlier in the week, United States Steel lost 0.89% in pre-market trade. American International Group gained 0.24% in pre-market trade after the company began trading ex-dividend on September 10th. On today's economic calendar, the U.S. is set to release initial and continuing jobless claims, retail sales data, PPI, and consumer sentiment. From the Eurozone, we'll see unemployment change data. And that's it for today's Market Primer. I'm Laura Hoy for Benzinga. Good luck on your trades and have a great weekend.